Hey guys, yours truly, Kevin Grace. I'm here in Buffalo on Chapin Parkway. Actually, 79 Chapin Parkway is the house behind me. And the reason why I'm here, this is one of the houses that Rick James owned in the late 70s, early 80s before he moved out to Orchard Park. And I believe this is the house where he and Eddie Murphy got snowed in, and Eddie was working on his song Party All the Time. So this was it right here, and it's real nice. It's just a couple blocks away from Forest Lawn Cemetery, where ironically he is buried, and I'll take you over there as well. But check it out, this is a real nice house. Now it went for $1.49 million. It sold last year, May 13th 2024. It sold for that price. But these houses were made probably in about 1915. But man, look how nice these are, the brick structures and everything else. So I think this is the one that had maybe a pool in the back and everything else. But this is really nice house. Anyway, let's go to the cemetery and see Rick. All right, guys, here we are, going to the back. Here he is, Rick James, or should I say James Ambrose Johnson Jr. Now, his birthday was February 1st, 1948, and he died August 6, 2004. Now, he passed away from heart failure, but, you know, throughout his life, he had some problems with drugs. I'm pretty sure that attribute to it. But this is a beautiful headstone. You see somebody left a horse on there, which is kind of interesting. Now, I saw an old video that he had horses at one of the houses he had, so he rode some horses, so maybe that's the reason why. But anyway, I was here before in the past, a couple years ago, and this is one of my top videos. I think about 16,000 people have tuned in to see my video with Rick James, which is pretty wild. And that's before I started getting fancy and adding any different videos onto it, which I of course now will. Just came from his house, which is beautiful, just a couple of blocks away, the house that he had in the late 70s, early 80s. I haven't been able to get out to his house that he had out in Orchard Park, but the house we came from, I think that's the one that he and Eddie Murphy got snowed into when he was working on Eddie's album and his song Party All the Time. But you know, he produced other groups as well. Of course, the Mary Jane Girls, he got them together. He did the Temptations, the Smokey Robinson. So man, he could do everything. He was a musician, songwriter, and he even appeared on the A-Team at one time. Now, in 1993 is when he got in trouble. He was under the influence of crack cocaine, and he assaulted and kidnapped 2 women, and then he was sent to Folsom Prison for a 3-year sentence. And when he got out, tried doing another album, but it wasn't as successful as some of the previous albums. One of the last big albums he had was in 1985. He had the album Glow, and he had a stroke around 1996, and then he went into semi-retirement, and just wow. He definitely lived a colorful lifestyle, man. I think they've done maybe a documentary on him, but they should do a movie. I think it'd be really good, especially his rivalry with Prince. He actually helped Prince out when the Rolling Stones had kicked Prince off of tour, because I guess the fans weren't really into Prince at that time, believe it or not. Rick James saw something in him and he had Prince open for him, but there was a rivalry definitely between those guys, man. If I could have gone back, if I was old enough and was into music like I am now, man, I would have, man, toured around to see definitely those two combos. Just great music to hear, but wow. But anyway, this is Forest Lawn Cemetery, and this is a beautiful cemetery, but man, like I said, I grew up listening to some Rick James, and of course Super Freak was sampled in 1990 by MC Hammer, his breakout super hit. And I know Rick James had mentioned he didn't really like the song, but he said, I love those royalty checks, so he liked that anyway. But yeah, with Rick, man, from songs like Ebony Eyes, Fire, and Desire that he did with Tina Marie, and it's another artist that he produced her as well, and they also were very close and intimate. But yeah, Super Freak, and of course one of my favorite is When I Came Home Last Night, You Wouldn't Make Love to Me, you know, Give It to Me Baby. I love that one. Of course, he had the horns in there, and man, just great. But anyway, let me show you this beautiful headstone, and just really nice. And it says on this, I've had it all, I've done it all, I've seen it all. It's all about love. God is love. And just really interesting. He loved his mom, and there's one video he's got his mom in there and definitely took care of her. And man, of course, like I said, the drugs and were definitely prevalent in his lifestyle, and he did blow through some money, so he was bankrupt a little bit, but I think he got himself together. But he also lived out in Los Angeles as well. Now they have this thing, I guess you can scan with your smartphone, and I guess it'll bring up some information on Rick. Let me see if it's got anything on the back here. This is so nice. They should have put something on the back here, another etching or something, but there's nothing here. But this is really, really nice. But anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe down below, and feel free to leave any comments about the great Rick James. Now, I said that he had a stroke. It was actually in 98, so I misspoke. So he was released on parole in 96, but 2 years later in 98 is when he had the stroke. And he also had I guess a big revival in his popularity. Dave Chappelle started doing some of the skits of Rick James, so you can definitely check out some Dave Chappelle stuff, and Charlie Murphy doing some skits with Rick James. But anyway, subscribe down below and like that video. Peace. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. Also wanted to mention that Rick James passed away at age 56, and I'm age 56, so it feels weird when you're the same age that someone passed away and you kind of know stuff that they've gone through and everything else. And no, I've never done any drugs, but it's just kind of weird, you know, when I do all these vlogs and travel around and you see what age a person is. And I know how it feels to be 56, but with his lifestyle, he may have felt like 80 or 70, because he did some hard living with the drugs and the drinking and everything else. But I'm going to show you what happens when you scan your smartphone, as I showed you this little scanner over here, Bart's. So I did that, and it brings up this on my phone. It's got different things. So I'm about to hit that button to see what happens.
James, Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, and R&B funk recording artist, was born on February 1st, 1948, right here in Buffalo, New York. Growing up, music was always an important part of his life. He was inspired by great singers like Marvin Gaye and Smokey Robinson, and as a teenager started singing in doo-wop and R&B groups. After entering the U.S. Navy to avoid being drafted, he deserted to Toronto, where he formed the rock and R&B group the Mynah Birds, whose lineup once included Bruce Palmer, Neil Young, and Nick St. Nicholas. His time with the group was short-lived after he was discovered with the group in Motown in 1966. Deserting the Navy caught up with him, and he served a one-year prison term. After his release, he moved to California to continue his band, the Mynah Birds. After that group broke up, he began a series of rock bands in California and worked for Motown as a songwriter under the alias Ricky Matthews. In 1977, he signed with the Motown record label Gordy Records as a recording artist and released his debut album, Come Get It, in April 1978. The album sold over 2 million copies and launched his career into the mainstream as a funk and soul artist. His most popular album, 1981's Street Songs, launched him into superstardom thanks to the hit singles Give It To Me Baby and Super Freak. He died in 2004 from heart failure. He was 56 years old.
Okay, so
The Booker Mausoleum is indeed a tribute to a parent's love and grief, as well as a stunning example of Victorian taste.
that shows you what gives you a nice little history, verbal history when you come here. So I guess they've done that with some of the famous and notable people here. But anyway, now you know where he's located. This is section 10 if you come here. So you can see the fence there and cars driving by, and it's near the little lake back here. So come on and pay your respects to Rick James.
Career by making people laugh. Well, now he wants to make them party all the time. Here's that story.
Eddie Murphy has been in Buffalo for almost a week. Most of that time has been spent inside Rick James' recording studio. The pair planned to produce Murphy's first singing single. Their plans were helped when the area was hit with the worst snowstorm of the year.
We've been snowed in for 4 days. I have not left the house since I got here.
Being confined to the studio actually helped the duo all but complete the new 45, entitled Party All the Time. The challenge to award-winning punk-funk king Rick James was to find Eddie Murphy's style.
Well, he's got his own style. I mean, he has his own sound. I mean, he has a very pleasant. I mean, it's like it's almost like a kid singing. You know, I mean, he's only 22 anyway, so that youthfulness is still in his voice. You know, that.
Murphy is as excited as Slick Rick about the sound they've developed.
Did you ever envision the sound that's coming out of the speakers? I didn't think it would come out like that. I was scared when we first came here, but now I'm like this. Did you hear the record? MRKD.
D. Excellent. Is that good? Yeah, that's good.
This is the rehab center at Northridge Hospital, about the last place you'd expect to find a funk star.
How's the dizziness?
Like I'm in Titanic.
He looks a lot different now than the way most of us remember him. Rick James made his first gold record, You and I, back in 1978. 3 years later, he shot to superstardom with the 1981 blockbuster Super Freak.
She's a super freak, she's super freaking now.
You've done a lot, Rick. Yeah, I think what a career. I look at that as accomplishments I made in life, you know? I mean, I can look at that stuff and say, yeah, I mean, I really did do something.
Lately, that thought's been especially comforting. It's been a treacherous couple of months.
Yeah, it was very tough. It was very, very tough.
2.5 months ago, after a concert in Denver, something happened that would change Rick James forever.
Yeah, I was just engulfed. Not by pain, but just by the loss of control and dizziness.
It was unlike anything he'd ever experienced, even during the wildest of times.
During the days when I was really drugging a lot and stuff, you know, drinking and drugging, there was times when I would OD, you know, but this time was really different. There was something about this time that made it exceptional. My brain couldn't tell my feet to function.
3 days later, back in Los Angeles, Rick found out why.
He suffered the death of a part of his brain. He suffered a brain attack or a stroke.
I said, oh no.
All right, let's do some of the backwards walking. Have you been practicing?
It's painful mentally when you find you're like a child and things that really came natural to you before, like walking or balancing yourself, become really kind of like, you know, wow, I can't do that anymore.
Rick's stroke happened after he burst an artery in the back of his neck. When the artery broke, blood flow was stopped to areas of his brain responsible for balance, coordination, muscle control, and vision.
Once you have damaged those brain cells, and once they die, they do not reproduce themselves. And so what we hopefully will be able to do is to have new pathways to develop and train other areas of the brain to take over.
And that's what rehab is all about. It isn't easy.
Need a break? Do you need a break, or are you okay?
You feel really susceptible. You feel really alone. You feel really scared. You feel really frightened.
But by all accounts, Rick's progress has been impressive.
He's been blessed with such a determination and so much courage to withstand everything that he's been through.
Not to mention the long, hard road that lies ahead, along with physical therapy 3 times a week. Rick is undergoing occupational therapy to get his mind and his body working in sync again.
Does it feel good? Does it feel easy?
Mm-hmm.
Smooth?
Most important thing is keeping a positive attitude. And most important is looking at his current level of function and realize that it is not quite the same as it was prior to the stroke, but it's improving, and it's improving every day.
Dr. William Young says because he's had one stroke, Rick's now at an increased risk of having another, one that could kill him or leave him profoundly disabled. A 1993 prison sentence for drug-related assault charges brought an end to Rick's notorious drug use. But he admits there were other vices he needed to abandon.
I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I can't eat fried foods. Chicken's out, Southern fried chicken, and the Colonel is like out the door.
So how does a man with such decadent appetite stay on the straight and narrow?
One thing about Rick is he wants to live. I mean, I don't want to die anymore. I mean, there was a time when I think I had a death wish, you know, and I never wanted to go out like this. All right, Alan, let's see if you got any Minnesota fats on you.
Yeah, right.
Rick's got a new movie coming out in April, a wife he adores, and a 6-year-old son he plans to finish raising. As for the future,
first thing on my agenda is to beat this. Performing is all on, you know, is all second thought. It's something I really want to do. It's something I really look forward to. It's something I will do again. But this is first. And I know I'm going to beat this because I already see it. So I don't look for too long before I'll be out there playing funky music again and having a good time.